but I pity the fool, and I will destroy any man who tries to take what I got. Close that boy. I told you better get out of here. I'm the champ. I'm the champ. I'll beat you like I did last time.
Hi. Welcome to a Wednesday.
Hello?
That's right. What are we looking at? We're going to look at Coastal Sunrise, a breakfast pastry sour from Humble Forager. A blackberry, raspberry, blueberry, maple syrup, vanilla, bean, cinnamon, marshmallow, blah blah. Holy cow. A whole bunch of stuff in here. And let's see, this one weighs in at 6%, and it's in a big can. So I'll put it in a big glass. Okay, so it looks more like juice. It smells really good. Wow, if you actually think about each of the things that I said and then go looking for them, I'm getting the raspberry, the maple syrup, vanilla, no cinnamon, and I'd really like to keep it that way. Whoa. First thing I really noticed is the maple syrup. A really strong maple syrup. Okay. A bunch of packages. I'm also going to get into them. I'm going to get into those right away. Smile Money was first. Christine was sane first, not second. Or she's actually second. Smile Money are setting her straight. Steven says fourth, being third. EMT Railfran says third, being fourth, according to YouTube. Christine, okay, not first, too slow. Steven saying seventh. By this point, I'm really tapping out on carrying. Salty Shellback, first, naked. Rich Huff, cheers all. Cheers, Rich. And congratulations, Rich. Rich emailed me about purchasing the 5.56 brake. And the non-funny thing is Matt wanted it, but thought that he'd wake me up or something, and decided to wait until I got home from work to let me know that he wanted it and he was going to walk over with some money. Matt, if you see this before I talk to you, John said that he was going to ship one up for you at the same cost as this one. So, got that taken care of. Otherwise, nobody has come to me requesting either of these. So remember that I do have two 30 cal brakes, a 1-inch and a 3/4 inch square brake, 5/8 by 24. And if you're ever thinking about getting one, the price ain't going to be any better than that. Poco Loco, sorry, first time Tourette's. Poco, I was first, but I got deleted. See, I don't even know what they do anymore. Christine again, Superman, Underoos. Salty, I like the feta cheese stuffed olives with my Bloody Mary. I tried some pickled onions with Bloody Mary, but not a fan of that, the kind I got. I may have to make my own pickled onions naked. Poco, I'm thinking after winter I'll come out and visit. I'll bring Matilda. Granted, it's got JP insides and Wilson barrel, so it's not quite a JP killer you're building. Still will be a good time. Well, actually, if you have JP insides, it's going to be better than this, because right now there is nothing. It's for the most part it's a palmetto. You know, now I'm cheating a little bit just because I know that they work great, and the JP has an effective break on it, so I wanted to put an effective break on the JP killer. The only thing really on this that I will have installed in it prior to my plans of getting me, Christine, Christopher, you know, whomever else is up. The only problem is if it's just me and Christine going out there, we can only have 2 people come with, because we're only allowed to bring 1 person on a visit, which I personally think is stupid, considering when I brought Rich, if I would have brought 10 people, there would have been 11 of us total, and nobody else the entire time we were there the second day. So they would have just made money they would have normally not have made. But that's their rules and their decision, and I like it because it's a little closer, and it's a decent place for sure. It'd just be nice to be able to bring more, but definitely when the weather gets better, I would at least like it to be the 3 of us. You know, maybe J Dog for a 4th, and just set up targets, and everybody shoots at the upper one with the JP, the lower one with the JP killer, and just see which rifle seems to be inherently more accurate. And if it turns out that there really isn't much of a difference, then once again, IHAP was right and I was wrong, and you don't need to spend $10,000, but it wasn't quite all about that. I have been, you know, I have honestly said that if things would have maybe happened in the industry a couple years later, we may not be looking at the JP sitting there. I would have loved to have built a 308 bolt gun, something where I could put John Huber's Remington 700 style trigger in it, and put one of John's that break that's on the JP killer. I would put something like that on it as a bolt gun. They were just starting to kind of hit the market, and over the period of like the next year and a half, there was just so many chassis and cool options that became available. So, I mean, I by no means regret my my decision to get the JP. I mean, right about now, I'd love to turn it into cash and buy Christine a motorcycle, but it is what it is. And yeah, if I was able to sell it, I would sell it. I'm not. It's obviously not in one of those situations where I'm gonna take an ass pounding just to get rid of it. That's definitely not the case. Steve says John's brake looks awesome. The brakes I use are much quieter. It's kind of funny that you make a comment like that, because John says the one thing he hears a lot, and it was actually proven wrong. And I don't know what brakes were used in the process, but John says that his brake has the ability, even though depending on where you're standing, some people think and say that it's really loud, but it also, on an AR pistol, you're more than likely to be standing, close to where the end of the barrel is. All I can tell you, Steve, is that John actually had some testing done on that, and the Huber Concept brake, the reason that it's not as loud as others on the market is because it breaks the duration of the sound up. 2 rifles, one with his brake, one with another brake. I mean, I'd have to talk to John to find out what brakes were used, maybe no brake, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And any other brake had this big spike, and the Huber brake has more of a taper. It's just, it manages to take the sound and stretch it out, and it takes that heavy, loud spike away. Now, granted, when you stand next to my AR pistol and do a mag dump, I get the sentiment. In Scourge, don't cross the streams. I try not to. Poco, rest in peace, everyone standing next to the brake. Laugh my ass off. Clyde, whiskey and revolution for all. Whiskey and revolution for all. I think I'm gonna stay in the front row. If I'm gonna have something today, I'm gonna have something that's actually tasty. Okay, let's see. I'll start with the one this I got a couple days ago. It's addressed to Eric E. Brownie. And it's brownies. Have you ever said to yourself, someone sends you, hey Cobra, where do you fall on this? This is a mystery box with a brownie inside of a baggie. It's good. And there's more. This one is for Rodney Pincone. And it's from Colorado. Colorado, eh? a Glock 19 barrel. Okay, thank you. Kind of like having that silver one in the black gun though. Put that in the green gun. Another one for Rodney Pincone. So a good friend of mine, Nick, was forced evidently now I can put that that one back together. We have a guide rod spring, the extractor, a little plastic plunger, the spring, an end plate, firing pin spring, the extractor, and then the two little clips. Okay, sweet, cool. I can rebuild that the one upper. I'm still alive. Cobra. Popo says the Swamp Fox red dot was a micro dot. If you want one for a normal pistol, check out the Swamp Fox Justice. It has a 1x27 sight window and shake awake. I bought mine off of Optics Planet when it was on discount because I'm cheap and broke, and after the sale price, 15% discount and Optics buck, it was cheap, real cheap, laugh out loud. Well, you know, I'm, believe it or not, I'm actually leaning away from putting optics on this, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Yeah, I guess I don't know. If they co-witnessed with these sites, would be the only route that I would go. Mike says, cheers, man. Cheers, Mike. Poco, I'm not paid to think, but when you look fine the way they are. But they look fine the way they are. Oh, see, I noticed a couple of you voted, and I'm great. I you know, when I throw out a question and say, could you guys help me with this, I actually mean it. And when there's 60 comments and there's either nobody answers my question or I get one, disappointed. The comment was about the stocks, and I'll go first. Well, no. When you're like, leave them the way they are, does that mean leave them the way they are? Or does that mean leave them the way I originally had them? Because I don't know if a single one of you said anything other than leave them the way they are. Now, leaving the way they are was this stock was on this rifle. But yesterday, if I left them the way they are, this stock was on this rifle. And this one had the minimalist, and I didn't like the way that looked. For me, if you're building, like everything that you see sitting here, the JP Killer, and the 5.56 Precision is all designed as a bench or target gun. Lay on the ground and shoot, lay whatever. I didn't get them for 3-gun. I mean, the scopes just about rule them all out. Now, having said that, and some people say, "Oh, you're just you, and you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it anyway," which it's not always the case. I have listened to you guys on some things and went the way of the tribe, but I did not like the way this looks with a minimalist stock. The best that I could do is replace the stock on the JP Killer with something that maybe looks more the part of a sniper rifle. But for right now, I just put the stock off of the other AR that lets go of ammo at an increased rate of speed. And I put the minimalist on that one. Looks like an ejector. Now it's broken. Two extractors. Cool lone wolf sticker. Lone wolf ejector and a lone wolf extractor, 9mm. All sorts of Glock goodies today, kids. Actually, this one had the extractor in it. You know why it'd be fun is just to sit down here and just make firearms. So seems how when I seriously ask a question, it almost always gets answered by Poco Local. So this would be the question for you, Poco. And other than looking up the information for Excalibur, because it's an Excalibur slide, what would be the proper red dot for this in the Foxfire, or the Fox Trotter, Fox whatever the hell they were? I mean, I do like those. They seem like they're nice and framed. You know, if I was to, you know, as far as a budget goes, still, if I put one on here, I definitely want to do the Hullison. Now that you said there's two different, see, I didn't know there's two different sizes in red dots. I mean, I guess I can see if it mounts. I don't know what's underneath here. I don't know if you're supposed to have plates with this or what, because the only time I've had to deal with this, the Walther, it was already on the Walther, and I can't show you that because it's on duty, and my G20, my race gun, it was all done by Mark at JoJo's Gunworks, which is why he wanted everything so that he could lay the slide down so that it co-witness perfectly, and it does. This, I would seriously consider carrying this as a red, as an optics carry. And I believe my primary holster for it, I don't remember if I still have it, I know it's down here somewhere. My Unicog, Uniglow, whatever, that would not get in the way of the optics. I don't know where I put it though. It's not important. But no, after spending a little range time with this guy and getting all the bugs worked out of the slide, like I said, I cannot stage it and make it even stay there anymore. And I do like I do like these, the GST 9 has a little bit of that almost Sig Sauer kind of a look and grip to it. Not to mention, I just think it's cool as hell, and the desert tan. You know, once you go desert tan, you never go back. So, I for sure would like to put optics on this. I am still honestly undecided, because one of the main reasons that I was very interested in this when Jerry said it was a consideration on a trade for my G19 was that it was the core and that it was optics ready. But every single time I shoot this, it rewards me. So you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man. I guess if I were to put a really cool, a decent optic on it, I would probably do it, because it's 2 screws and a plate away from returning it back to this, and I could definitely use the dot on something else. And I'm assuming, Poco, that this one would not be the micro dot, because that, I'm assuming, is classified for things like the Hellcat. Smile money. Is drinking expensive craft beer and scotch a hobby? Did we forget the motorcycle? My guns all have different purposes: hunting, trap shooting, target shooting, concealed carry, and plinking, and oh, not to forget, heirlooms. I like seeing different guns, so keep it up. Oh, what about the motorcycle? I was told I can't talk about it, or if I do, I can't spend more than 10 minutes. Besides that, I've sat on it in the last few days. I've sat on it. I'd still need to go out and fire it up and let it idle some of the precious sea foam into the carburetors. This whole thing is just. Hi. Hi. Nice Mustang. Rich, I was hoping that Justin's AR-10 would get a Huber break. I'm very happy with that. Awesome. Well, considering the rest of the gun is pretty much all you, I guess if I were to put the pins in it, see, the thing is I can't put the brake on. I don't have a way to stabilize it, and I'm going to use the peel washers, which I probably already managed to hide, but I think with that fluted barrel, that 3/4 inch one looks awesome. And this one, the 24 inch with the heavier barrel, I think the 1 inch looks awesome on there. And I do have to agree with a few people. I had the 1 inch on my Mosin, and of course I swore I would never take it off. And then John started making the 3/4 inch 30 cals, and I was like, oh, I just think it looks so sexy because it's already, you know, nice and polished. And speaking of sexy, nice and polished and streamlined. But there was a few of you that were rather disappointed that I took the 1 inch brake off of there. And when I see the JP Killer with it on, I'm still like, damn, that's awesome. The JP, you know, I just wanted it to be JP's best brake, and that thing shoots so soft. I know John's brake would make a difference, but it still shoots soft. The only thing that if I could go back in time, and unfortunately I'd have to go back in time, hold for about a year to a year and a half, maybe even 2 years, and because it's now offered, I would have had this trigger, the Hyperfire 3 gun, put in there, hands down. Don't get me wrong, the Revolution roller trigger is pretty damn sweet, and it's not stock because JP does exactly what John Huber did to the one that was in that is in the 50 cal. John took a mil-spec trigger and just I gotta have that talk with him, because I still think, you know, he's just been so overwhelmed on stuff, and since losing his wife Sandy, the man is just, honestly, it's been a wreck. It's been a wreck. If you get bored, call. Unfortunately, they're all upstairs, I think. Call Huber. Call Huber Concepts, and just shoot the shit with John. I was going to bring down a business card so I could hold it up so you could take a look at it. Beep, beep. If you do call Huber Concepts and talk with John, plan on being on the phone for a while there. Smile money. You can give up Constitution and take pre-law in college. Get your law degree and become a Supreme Court justice. Oh wait, the videos will be evidence in your confirmation hearings. Never mind. Oh, why should that be a problem? I believe in the Constitution of the United States of America. I stand for this country, and I would uphold all of the laws. I believe that our borders need to be locked and secured, and if you want to come into this country, then we're going to find out who you are, and then you will proudly become an American citizen. I mean, do you people, I mean, you guys probably do, because you are a stellar group of political motivated gun enthusiasts who like to watch a dumbass drink shit in his basement and eat mystery brownies. But just what is going on at our southern border? I mean, the average person just has no idea. Yet, this douchebag retard is is actually considering a second lockdown for a variation. You know, just like Christine said, she goes, if people are gullible enough to fall for this is going to be an every year thing forever. And oh my God, how right she is. Because if you're going to get all worked up over the flu, guess what? The flu has a variant every single year. And so does this. And the new one, listening to a bunch of professionals on it, it is a faster attacking version that does not have the negative, the survivability is considerably more. I mean, considering that the other one is 99.997% that you are going to walk away just fine. Sharky? So, know a few people personally now that are dealing with COVID, and they were all vaccinated. A good friend of mine who feels like I do, but unfortunately had to make a decision between a career, which is bullshit. Just like the meme that I put on Facebook. If your job is on the other side of that cliff and the only way to cross is to walk across the vaccine needle, in other words, you have to choose between your job and something you don't want. That is so un-American. And anybody that would for a second take the side of anybody saying that everybody has to be vaccinated, I personally think you should be all rounded up, put on a ship, and sent off to somewhere else. I mean, again, you want to get the shot, you volunteer, you've done your own research, you feel good about it, ta-da! It's the United States of America. You know, it doesn't say anywhere that you're granted to do whatever you want. Well, you can't do whatever you want, because right now I can think of a few things that are probably, questionable, extremely questionable. But under the guise of the Constitution and our laws, we enjoy a level of freedom that is not common amongst almost anywhere else in the world. And all of a sudden, we have a dictator, Brandon, and the deep state, and for whatever reason, we won't get into any of the conspiracy theorists or any of the things that I feel. We'll just say, for whatever reason, they're sure pushing hard that everybody has to take this. And anybody see the video that came out of the mash of all of the sports people that are now having heart-related problems? And what do they all have in common? They all took the vaccine. Oh, and I'm going to do my video on the night vision thing. I tell you, as a standalone thing, I think it's pretty damn cool. And it's actually come way down in price. Right now, you can actually pick it up for $2.99. Gen 1 digital night vision. I turned all the lights off down here. There's no light at all other than the display on my phone laying on the counter. And you could so easily navigate or see anything that you need. I think because it's a digital, that it doesn't have quite the stabilization that, like, say, software in a camera or Force A has. But if you were to put it on a tripod, because it has the camera style mount on the bottom of it, I think that would be a huge thing, depending on what you're using it for. Now, my biggest complaint, pretty much my only complaint, but then again, I openly admit that I don't, that I've never had the pleasure of working with any other style, is that if your eye relief is right here, now this moves your eye relief back to here, as we discussed. And the most amount of cantilevering I have, well, actually this one does pretty good, but is the mount here for the M308, and with it as far forward as it could possibly go, I still had it way too far back. And the company One Leaf that sent me that, even though I've shown it to you a zillion times, so it's not exactly like it's just sitting in a box and it hasn't been seen at all. Granted, probably none of you have purchased it. But I basically told them that I'm working on a video. I will get something uploaded, hopefully by Friday. And my biggest issue is the eye relief and the setback. And I told them, I said, I'm going to have to do a couple videos. I have to figure out a way that I can take it. The only way that I could even do this is to literally go all the way out to the shack and stay until dark. Which, anybody that's been to the shack, by that point in time, it's like, oh God, I don't want to have to be out there that late. But yeah, it's pretty much useless in the city. I tried going outside, and it's just like, I don't know, is there such a thing in this particular scenario as it works too well? I mean, when you're in IR mode, you're in IR mode. You have 6 levels of intensity for IR, 1 through 6, and on the lowest setting, any light at all is just way too much light. I mean, it thrives in total darkness. Would I want to give it up? No, I can honestly say, using it like you see it there, it's freaking awesome. Now, I am able to mount it to the M308 scope, and you can get the reticle nice and crisp in it, and still see what you would normally see if you were looking through the scope. It's just that here I don't have any way of really demonstrating it. There's no place really dark enough, And granted, I'll put it in record mode and just take the scope with me on the mount and not the rifle. I mean, it's like, trying to explain to the cops, hey, I'm making a YouTube video. That's why I'm carrying around a big-ass AR-10 with night vision capabilities on it. But they told me that if that once I do the video that I was supposed to do for them quite a while ago, they evidently have a cantilever mount that will push it forward even more than, I guess, a typical one. I don't know. So they said they'd be willing to send it to me, so I'd have to see. Din Scourge says, Missouri seems pretty good. One of them constitutional carry. Smile money? How do you spell moronic? COVID. Din Scourge. Don't know about minimalist stock on the DRG, but like the other one on the 308. So probably just look for something else for the DRG eventually. Well, I guess depends on what order they're going to get used. This was the stock that I got for this. It's from Luth AR, and it's made to go on either a commercial or a mil-spec buffer tube. Which would mean if I purchased another one of these, I could just put it straight on here. I might look around on Davison Defense, because they've got all sorts of sales going on, and maybe find something a little tactical. But either way, I still think just a just a run-of-a-mill Magpul looks the part a little bit more than the minimalist. And again, I think it has its place. Actually, the rifle that it's on, it's better suited for. J-Dog, the FRT and the 312 mod for 2021. You know, J-Dog, I don't know why I wasn't even considering that. Yes, Zeus, I would like to change my answer. Definitely in 2021 is the FRT trigger in 312. And every time you pull the trigger, you can't help but have that smile on your face. Thank you, J-Dog. Cobra, D4. D4 is a hit. Three shots and one is already a hit. Oh boy, I'm doing good. Matt Davis, I was thinking about the Detroit locker for my truck, but don't want to make it spin out special. Any of you northeastern folks have any experience with locking differentials? Matt Davis is asking you a question. Matt, why do so many comments have translate to English written underneath? Well, that is a good question. I was kind of wondering that myself. Cobra, take the minimalist stock off and just slap a tennis ball on the end. McLean, try synchrome, Eric. Just trust me, I know what I'm speaking. My Chigo? Chigo? What am I slapping that on? Wade, Michelob is gay beer. They love it because it tastes like ass. Jeremy says, haha, so funny. Then he says, damn, I was going to ask you about those pickled peppers. Oh, yeah. That would be a good thing to add to some homemade salsa. Wade, for me, a minimal stock and scope do not go together. I'd like a lot of real estate for my cheek and my shoulder. Smile Money, bench gun I thought would benefit from adjustability in a stock. Yes, you are both right. Joey, nice intro. I like how the end ties into the picture. Oh, look, she spilt something. And Joey, YouTube says I can say thanks. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, me too. I'm going with, yeah, me too. Mr. 27 says 45th. Mr. 27 says, darn, intro ghost bummy. Mr. 27 says, I'm going to guess the Canadian whiskey guy isn't here again. Video games again? Mr. 27, I bet Salty Shellback and Matt are naked again. Hash brown. Mr. 27, at 14 minutes, the hills are alive to the sound of big boobies. Yes, they are. One of Brad's favorite girls. Blue Healer, 2 thumbs up. US, US. Go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden. Sharky, hi all. Plenty rifles out to play. That Huber break looked good. Sharky, that's Miles and John. Thank Miles and John for the fluted Justin barrel. Looks sweet too. Mr. Mark Mac, perfect answer because I can. America.
What?
Sharky, well, now you've got this spare brake. You obviously need another AR-10 barrel to mount it on. Actually, I have a complete AR-10 upper. Actually, have AR-10 lower, not assembled though. Sharky, not just Democrats, but most, like 99% of career politicians across the board, would swing in trees if the oath towards the Constitution meant anything. Sharky, cheeky test foamy, love it. The minimalist stock lends itself more to a carry and running gun in my book. The precision, a more robust stock, would be better for both of them. Sharky, J5. J5 is a miss. Want a brownie?
No. I don't want brownie. I want you to hurry up and finish so I can eat. I'm starving.
Okay.
I didn't hardly have anything to eat today. I was so busy.
On to the Guati. I came home and had Guati Squatty.
Squatty, squatty.
Sharky says SH, Bat Babe. Oh yeah. This is 27. I like big cans without the extra air in them. Need to be able to jiggle. Mr. 27 outro.
A lot like big butts.
I like big butts.
That's not that songster mix a lot. Yeah.
Mr. 27 says outro Bat Babe nice. Jeremy says, as for the question posed, I'd leave the rifle stocks where they are. Where they are or where they were. Hey, you want to sell your Foxtrot Glock lower? Been thinking about that since I left. No, I'd actually like to build a badass something with it. Smile Money. Eric, you can make a list of the, or can you make a list of the things that Obama did that have ruled unconstitutional everything? Pretty sure that keeping U.S. racially divided with speeches and comments must be on that list since it was the first thing you mentioned. Right, Eric? Right? Right, Smile Money. Right. Smile Money. Waiting for spring for that 300-yard sight-in event. Promise, pinky swear, Eric, that it'll happen. It would need to be 2 days. The first day would be just for Christopher to dial them in. Probably. Oh, God. Brings back bad memories. Thank you. Mike, love that sweet break. Mike, I would love the 5.56 break if I had spare money. It's tight. Will be tight till January on money. Yeah, it'll be tight until we have a real president around here. Jules, love that song. Mike, leave the stock alone, Eric. Cheers. Again, as they were or as they were? But yeah, this is what's happening for right now. This is staying on here, and I might get one of these to put on here. Or something similar. I have seen some cool stuff that, you know, wasn't $1 million. Didn't scourge. Take a sip of the Saborski. Well, he did say sip. You know, I have not tried this on its own, but I have made a drink or two with it. Well, Jeremy was here. I do like the fact that the one leaf has a shitload of options. It's definitely not harsh in scourge. Mr. Mark Mac 85, excellent rant, Eric. That is what keeps me coming back, laugh out loud. And thanks to YouTube, I can say glad you enjoyed it, glad to hear it, you and me both. Mr. Mark Mac, I'm just going with glad to hear it. Zeus, what's so bad about Texas gun laws? I don't know, not necessarily anything at this moment in time about Texas gun laws. Texas on the NRA score, I thought was a state that was going to score number 1, but I want to say Texas was either number 7 or number 10. So, Zeus, you tell me why you're not number 1. I always think, up until recently, until the Californian douchebags and libtards started screwing up your state, I would have always considered Texas as the holdout for the United States. But I believe Oklahoma was listed by the NRA is the number 1 pro-gun state in the union. Like I said, I think Texas was 7. So I'm not necessarily picking on your gun laws. What I am picking on is that your state is being destroyed by libtards. You have more libtards running your state than conservatives. And it's only going to get worse unless they're all hung in a tree. Zeus, the minimalist stock are great on minimalist stocks are great, and on Big Daddy Unlimited discounts take $20 off. They are a great stock. I'd like it where it's at. I would like it on something basically stripped down. It just does not look right on either one of these, and it was originally on the JP Killer, and I don't like it on the JP Killer. Hell, I know this will come as a surprise, but like the most expensive stock in my arsenal is on the JP, and this is the UBR, and their new one is, I think their new one is even better than this one. This one's got problems. It'll lock and it'll be hard to get it to open, and they wanted me to send it to them, and if they deemed it was their fault, they would fix it. If not, they would send me a bill, and I'm like, you know what? Kiss my ass. I'm not going to take it off the frickin' rifle so that you can make shit up. That is it. Going to the club. I'm on a time pinch, so I'm just going to take this with me. I'll tell you, a little bit of maple syrup, I would have given this a lot higher score. Overall, it's very drinkable. It's sweet. It's not bitter. I don't really think it's not really overly sour. But I'm a big fan. I'm not really digging the it's just, to me, it's an over the top on this maple syrup. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Hey, that's weird. It's Lily. Sorry, Lily. Only one person in the club, Rich. Cheers, Rich. And nope, my goal is to have this out to you yet this week. I also need to get, I got to get a few things out to you. I apologize, but I will. I'll get that underway. What I should have done, everything happened too fast, but I should have I wonder if that's been... I don't think it's been shipped yet. Maybe that's what I should do, Rich. I'll talk to John. If he has not shipped mats here yet, I'll just have him ship that one to you. And then I can just give this one to Matt. Okay. Cheers. Probably... I'm not 100% sure, but you probably won't see me tomorrow. I need to get the video done for One Leaf, and I have like 4 videos that I supposed to have already been done, and I've just I can come hang out with you and drink a beer if you want me to tell you about a flashlight. When you press a button, they get bright.